2017 ATA show. Paul Morrison with bowhunting.com. I'm here with John with Lancaster Archery, and he's got some really sweet-looking bows out for this year. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about them.
Tradtech Archery is Lancaster Archery's traditional hunting line of traditional bows. 10 years old in 2017, so it's a really big year for us. And 10 years ago, this was something that was pretty revolutionary in traditional archery. And what it was doing is taking modern Olympic-style limbs, connecting them to hunting-size risers, and putting them in hunting-appropriate colors. So the idea is Recurve limb technology has been pushed by Hoyt and Win and
Right.
the big international archery companies, and they're designing the fastest, most resilient, modern Olympic-style limbs, but they were always, they look like NASCARs,
Right.
covered in logos, not hunting-appropriate colors, and typically from 66 to 70 inches long, a little too long for a bow hunter.
Gotcha.
So what the idea behind Tradtech is taking those limbs and that technology, putting them on hunting-appropriate risers and in hunting-appropriate colors. So it's been successful, and it's an interesting thing because traditional archers, they're a unique group of the bow hunting community, and they want things to stay simple.
Right.
This is taking some modern technology and combining it with that aesthetic for staying simple. So it allows them to shoot the best limbs and some of the best new materials that are available.
Gotcha.
But it's still a simple single-string bow. It's still just you and your arrow and nothing else. And there's instinctive archers and people who aim with these bows, but mostly it's a stripped-down bare bow, limbs, a riser, and a string.
Gotcha. Well, tell me a little bit about this bow here you got in your hand. I mean, it's a sweet color.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the first thing that catches your eye. The strings, the limbs, the riser. Tell me a little bit about it and how it's made, maybe.
Good questions. It's an ILF bow. ILF stands for International Limb Fitting. This is something that actually Hoyt developed decades ago. And what it did was it allow you to connect different limbs to different risers with one consistent universal limb attachment system. So the limbs simply press into place.
Oh, wow.
Into the dovetail slot. It's adjustable like a compound bow, so you can change the weight of the bow by almost about 10%. If we have 45-pound limbs, they can be adjusted up to about just under 50 pounds max weight.
Oh, wow.
You can also change the tiller. So depending on how you hook your string as an archer, whether you shoot split finger or 3-under, you can balance the limbs against each other to make them balanced appropriately for how you hold the string.
Okay.
So it's a unique limb technology that's used on most of the tournament bows shot in the world have this same limb connection. So I can take a lot of the modern graphic Olympic style limbs and I can put them on all of these risers. But that's the problem, is you don't want to hunt with a bright white logoed limb. So Tradtech takes that technology and puts it in hunting appropriate limbs. And we've been doing it successfully for 10 years. A lot of people have really adopted this, even though some traditional archers resisted it first. They've adopted this technology, and it's still you and a single string and nothing else. And
Gotcha.
Traditional archery.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about what type of material is in these limbs, or I'm assuming each person has. If you're buying a bow like this, especially a professional archer or something like that, that has the hunting side, he may have different limbs and made out of different composite and stuff. But what's this right here? What do we have?
What we're looking at here is a glass and carbon Tradtech longbow limb. It has a solid maple core, and it's got both carbon and fiberglass in these laminations. Now, there are many different combinations, and the limbs start at about $150, and Tradtech limbs go up to just under $600, and that depends on the limb construction. The most expensive limbs are the lightest, fastest limbs you can shoot, and some of the fastest bows a traditional archer could shoot. They're going to be an all-carbon limb, no glass. It's going to be carbon back, carbon belly, and either a foam core or a maple core like this.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who will always prefer a maple core limb, but there are a lot of archers who prefer what's called a carbon core limb. That limb should be more stable through heat and temperature, climate changes. The maple limb may be just a touch faster, a little bit of personal preference in choosing that, but it's glass, carbon, and wood cores.
Gotcha. Well, that's a little bit more complicated than I was expecting it to be. Thankfully, they take care of that and they make the bows. But it's a really sweet looking bow. They've got a whole bunch of different types of risers and different types of string on there. It's really Tradtech, correct? Tradtech. Okay, Tradtech. They really have come out with to blend, like he's saying, blend the professional archer and the hunting archer. And personally, you know, I shoot recurves too. And the thing is I haven't merged into that, into the shoots and stuff like that, which a bow like this would allow me to do. So
maybe we'll change that after this.
Oh well, hopefully. Well, you guys get on. Tell them where they can find this.
LancasterArchery.com.
Okay.
Or call us and talk to any one of our tech experts on the customer service line. But you can see all of these bows at the website, LancasterArchery.com. And when you do have, technical questions about those things, we've got we think, a special group of people that answer the phone and help you decide what works for you, help you set up arrows for these bows, and just put a bow together for you.
Well, perfect. Thank you. Very good looking bow. Good talking to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.